Right, hello everyone, Mr. Stevens here with our next lesson in Properties of Geometrical Figures, where we're going to be looking at quadrilaterals. Um, and yeah, similar to when we looked at triangles, we're going to be looking at the angle relationships in quadrilaterals. And all we actually need to look at in this one is angle sum. Angle sum of a quadrilateral is 360. And we're going to use that fact to calculate unknown angles. So this is pretty similar to the last lesson we did, except instead of adding everything up to 180, we're going to add it up to 360. Remember, we take everything away from this side and then take it away over here. So we end up with x equals 360 minus all of these things. Now, remember, I am happy for you to start your working out with this line. And again, the answer is 40 degrees, same as it was in our triangle lesson. So yeah, I'm happy for you to start from here. 360 minus everything that we know. And that's how we work with angle sum of a quadrilateral. Now, something we're also going to see a little bit of in this lesson is this. Find the value of the pronumerals in these special quadrilaterals and give reasons for why we're doing that. Now, there is a page in your textbook, 399, that has a lot of info like this on it. Properties of a parallelogram, properties of a kite, and we could use those properties to find out what all these letters are. But personally, I don't think that memorizing all of this stuff is useful because we already know some things that can help us solve these. I want to draw your attention to these symbols here. We remember what those mean. If we don't, that means that those lines are parallel. And what's something that we know about co-interior angles in parallel lines? This is a pair of co-interior angles. So x equals 180 minus 60, because those two angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So x equals, let's give my reason, and we say that x equals 120. And we can keep doing the same thing all the way around the parallelogram because these two angles are also a pair of co-interior angles. So z is going to equal 180 minus 120 because they're also co-interior. So z is going to equal 60 degrees. Now that we know the three other angles, there are a couple of ways we can work out y. We could work out y by recognizing that here and here, but also here and here are another pair of co-interior angles. Or we could just take everything away from 360. And we'll figure out that y is 120 degrees. So hopefully you kind of see what I mean there. I don't think trying to put, if you look at this page on the textbook, there are about 7 of these boxes like this that have, 4 or 5 points in them each. I think it's simpler just to remember this stuff. If we remember our parallel line angles, we can work out everything we need to know about this shape. A similar situation happens over here with the kite. If we do this, divide the kite into 2 triangles, these markings here tell us that what we've made is 2 isosceles triangles. So in isosceles triangles, we know that these angles at the bottom of the triangle are equal to each other. So having used that information, we can say that this angle here is also 100 degrees because of those two isosceles triangles that we formed. So now working out x is as simple as taking away all the angles from 360. Again, we could have tried to remember that in a kite, these two angles are equal, but I think it's better to just remember the isosceles triangle and think about how we can apply that. But having said all that, if you guys want to memorize all the information that's on this page 399, go right ahead and do it. Either way is valid to get the answers to these questions and to get the answers to a lot of these questions that you're going to be doing. But remember, you will not have page 399 of the textbook in front of you when you're doing your assessment. So you guys can go ahead and get started on this work right now. We're starting at question 3 of exercise 7C. And again, we're doing the first two and last two of each question. Thanks, guys.